Hello world. Today I have some exciting news. I have more updates for you for the NotebookLM CLI and MCP. Over the last few weeks, days actually, I've been busy releasing new versions, new updates, fixes, and I have a lot to show, but on this video, I'm going to be focusing on something very specific. I'm receiving a lot of requests from users on YouTube and the GitHub repo itself to help with instructions or release videos, how to install the tool for various AI tools. And one that came up a lot was this one, LM Studio. LM Studio it's not something I use, but I used to use it in the early days. Now I use Olama for most of my local models. But LM Studio is a very nice tool. It allows you to download local models from GitHub, and you can run them and you can customize it. And one of the things they added that I didn't know is support for MCP. So technically you can connect NotebookLM to LM Studio very easily, to be honest. It's simpler. Just once I just launched it and kind of looked around, the setting was out there. It's just a simple config. But then I noticed that you need to enter the JSON, and I don't remember the JSON by heart, so I had to go to the repo, right? So I had to go here and look at the README and find the section that talks about the JSON. It takes time, and I'm lazy. I don't like to spend too much time on finding stuff. I want it to be accessible, easy. So I said, why not update the tool? Because we do have the ability right now to set up the MCP on various tools that we support. And let me show you before, instead of talking. So if I go here and I'll do NLM setup add, and you can see the help. So we support Cloud Code, Cloud Desktop, Gemini, Cursor, Windsurf, Client, Anti-Gravity. I can't support all the tools out there. I wish I could. But what about the rest of the tools? The rest of the tools support JSON configuration for MCPs. I decided, let's do that. And as you can see, I need to update because I'm a little behind. So let me kind of show you what you can do with this tool and how you can quickly configure LM Studio with my notebook MCP. And by the way, when you use LM Studio, you need to find a model that first can run on your laptop. For example, I had my laptop is not the best. It's MacBook Air with 16 gigabytes of RAM, so I can't run large local models. And the smaller the models are, they're not really good at tool calling, which is essentially what MCP is all about. The AI models needs to be able to recognize the MCP and, based on your prompt, decide when to use the appropriate tool. And I found one in my testing. So I'll show you what I'm using and how I set it up. And let's go through it. So let me first update my NotebookLM MCP. I'll run this command, and I think I have the latest version. So, okay, I'm on the latest. So if I'll go back now into the NLM setup, add, and help, you'll see that now I have a new option, and that's what I added. And let me show you how to do this. So for example, I'm going to do NLM setup, add JSON. And once you do that, I created some sort of interactive process to guide you through, to help you to decide which is the best JSON for your system. So I'm going to select, and now it's going to ask me, do you want to use UVX, which essentially does not install anything in the system. It's kind of live usage of the tool, or you want to use the regular. I'm going to use the regular because I already installed it with UV. So I'm going to select number 2. It's going to ask me for if it wants to use the full name or the path. And this depends on the tool. Some tools have full insights into your system path and some don't. So just to be safe, I sometimes like to use the system path. So it's always going to find the tool to execute it when it needs to. And it's also going to ask me if this is a new setup or it's a tool that already has MCP configured. And the difference is, because if it's the first time you set up a tool, it'll include the MCP server wrapper. And in my case, for LM Studio, I don't have anything there, so it's a fresh setup. So I'll select number 2, which include the MCP server wrapper in the JSON. And that's it. And of course, I hate copy from terminal into Windows because sometimes there are spaces. So I added the ability to support copy directly to your clipboard, and I'll say yes to that. And if I'll show you, I'll do paste, and you can see it pasted it. So it works. So now let's go back into LM Studio, and I'll show you how to define that over here. So this is LM Studio. Once you install it, you go into this area where you have the developer section, and you'll see there is the MCP server, MCP JSON. I'm going to click on it, and you can see it's a fresh installation. I don't have anything. I'm just going to delete it and paste what I copied from my tool and save it. And that's about it. That's about it. I now just need to chat with a model and start seeing to check if this works with my MCP. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to start a new chat, and I'm going to load, let's say, I think Qwen was the one I used. It's going to load it. It's not the fastest laptop, so next time. There we go. Sometimes you may need to configure the model and ensure that you have enough, because by default, for example, you can see it's 4,000 context window. It's not good. I think Qwen support up to 256, and reload and apply. Because otherwise it will fail with every single prompt, because the MCP server itself, when it loads, it consumes a little bit from the context window, and it's not going to work with the 4,000 tokens. And now, before I chat, I just need to enable the MCP, and you do it over here. Select, and time to test. And ask it, can you list my notebooks? And again, this is a small model, so hopefully it will be able to understand my ask and correlate that to the MCP and use it. And you can see it's executing the proper command to list the notebook, and that's coming from the MCP. I'll proceed. So as you can see, it is able to use it. Not so usable. Again, that's my laptop. I don't have a lot of horsepower on this little MacBook Air. But at the end of the day, if you have a machine that is capable of running decent models that both able to call tools and have sufficient context window support, you can definitely use that to manage your NotebookLM. So that's what I wanted to show you. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, whatever they say on YouTube, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers!
AI spotlight illuminating the future of AI.